would like to ask you all a question. That's something that I want you to think about over the next couple of days, couple of weeks. It's not something that I want you to just blindly throw out an answer to. I want you to think about it, and I don't need to know what the answer is because it's not for me, it's for you. It's a personal look at what you believe and the values that you have. And the question is, what would it take for you to change your opinion on anything? And even in regard to what would it take for you to change your loyalty? You know, what would it be? What would need to happen for you to leave your spouse? What would need to happen for you to become a Republican if you've been a Democrat, or a Democrat if you've been a Republican? You know, I want you to think about the things that would need to take place, because I don't think we do that. I don't think we really evaluate what our values are in terms of what's going on in the real world. And, you know, for example, you know, I think most of us know, you know, the specific, you know, scenario of what would make us not want to stay with our partner. Cheating is usually the first one. But we don't really think beyond that. We just cheated. That's it. You know, what other things might we not want to put up with? You know, maybe it's, you know, and a lot of times, you know, outside of cheating, it's going to be a combination of things, you know, hygiene, health, habits, you know, just all the little things that sort of come together, and it can be hard. And I'm not asking you to try to evaluate your partner to eventually break up with them, but there's going to be certain things within your own value system that people don't fall in line with. And while this may not apply to a partner, it might apply to friends or acquaintances, people that you hang out with, places that you work. You know, I have a hard time supporting somebody who complains about the business that they work for. Like, leave. You know, stop fucking complaining about the shit that you're dealing with when you are walking into it every day. So my question is, what is it going to take for you to leave your religion? Because the thing about a religion, I'm not asking you to leave your faith in God, and I'm not asking you to leave your religion either, but a lot of religions actually have faith in the same God. When you talk about Christianity, Catholicism, Mormonism, you know, they all have the same God, but they just have little nuances that make their religion a little bit different, you know, depending on how you practice your faith and whatnot. And what would it take for you to step back from that religion and say, you know what, my faith in God is more important than my faith in this religion? And once again, I'm not trying to ask you to leave or to step away from these, but to evaluate whether what you believe falls in line with what that is. And so when you have something like a religion, you know, or, you know, a political party that I believe is continuing to devalue itself, and because of our long-standing relationship with those entities, we allow that devaluation. You know, we've allowed the Republican and Democratic parties to get where they are. You know, because, I mean, we can all admit, you know, even Republicans will admit that Trump does not represent all Republicans. And the Democratic Party is a mess right now. So, I mean, it's, you know, what has happened is, in our inability to look at people as individuals, we have allowed these particular parties to become less of what they are, or what they were meant to be. So we maintained our status as Democrats or we maintained our status as Republicans, but the people who represented that, the people who we nominated, were becoming less and less what we wanted from those particular parties. But we continue to side with them because, well, we've always been Democrats or we've always been Republicans, and it's a bullshit fucking idea. You have got to look at the individual. And so all I'm saying is, what would it take for you to say, you know what, maybe being a Republican isn't what I am, and take a look at that. And then I want you to think about those things, and think about those things in all aspects of your life. What do you expect? What would it take for you to leave your job? What would it take for you to leave certain ideas, that you've held for so long? What would it take for you to believe that Muslims need to be in a registry? And what would it take for you to believe that Muslims deserve every respect that Christians get or demand? And then I want you to think about that. I want you to think about, okay, where are you? Where are you in your beliefs? And then when you've sort of started to understand where you're at and where things are, I want you to start to think about what other people might have to believe, what other people have thought and what their ideas are and where their line is. And then start thinking about people compassionately for once. Because people say that, we have to live compassionately, but people do not. You think you do, but there's an agenda behind it. You want people to be compassionate towards you. You want people to be compassionate towards your way of thinking. And then you get upset and frustrated when people don't. And I'm sorry, the American flag represents freedom of choice. That's what it represents. Yes, we use it to bury our dead soldiers. Yes, we use it to honor living and dead soldiers. But that flag represents freedom. And if you believe that freedom means that people can't speak out against that freedom, or that they can't have an issue with America because they have legitimate issues with this country that they want to see changed. Having an issue with this country does not mean you hate this country. Having an issue with this country means you actually love this country. Because if you're passionate about something, then you're going to stand up for it. But if you don't care, the people who don't care about this country are the ones who didn't go out and vote. And I know people are going to say, well, Kaepernick, look, Kaepernick had his choice and he exercised it. And that I put up more than the people who just blatantly didn't vote because they don't know anything about the candidates. They don't know anything about the process. They probably didn't even realize that the election was occurring. I don't want to get in this Kaepernick thing. I think he's chosen an interesting path, if I can be kind, but I will support his choice because I think he is working through it. I think there's a process that in his mind that he sees that he's doing the best that he can, and that's all you can ask from people. To go out and do the best that they can. And there are legitimately people in this country who are not doing the best that they can, and a lot of them are white Americans. So don't give me this bullshit that Mexicans are bringing rapists and, drugs, that Muslims are bringing terror. You know what? We're all people. When we look at flags, you look at the Olympic flag, there are 5 colored rings on there, and those 5 colors represent the colors in every flag in the world. Each one of those colors is represented, every flag in the world is represented in those 5 colors. So, don't tell me that, we're all that different. Yes, we all have different opinions and different viewpoints, but we're all blood and flesh. We all have basic needs. Everybody's basic needs are the same. We need food, we need shelter, we need companionship, and that's, because we identify with different things, we think that we're built differently and deserve different things, and that's bullshit. So I want you to just sort of look at what people are going through. Look at what you're going through. Is it reasonable that people can believe different things and still be good people? And yes, there are a lot of fucking shitty people out there. But you know what? I'm not going to judge everybody. I don't have the time to judge everybody. We just got to be decent to one another. And if somebody wants to be a shithead to you, let them be miserable. Let them be miserable. One day they will be humbled. And hopefully one day that miserable person who treated you like shit will apologize and say, look, I'm not happy with the way I was. I'm not happy with the person I was. And you didn't deserve that, and I apologize. And I hope you're at a place where you can honestly say, it's okay. Apology accepted. We've all got our own shit. We've all got our own shit, and to believe that your shit is worse than somebody else's, or that somebody else isn't handling theirs, that's not your responsibility. And you just got to let go and control your own path. Stop being so miserable. Start enjoying things in life. And if you don't know much about a culture, if you don't know much about a people, fucking learn. Meet the people. Don't read what the news tells you. Don't, look at, how a culture, don't read about a culture. Meet the culture. Meet your neighbors. People want to get rid of a lot of illegal, immigrants, and that's fine. Look, if we need to, if people came into this country illegally, we need to, look at that process. But there's a lot of good people that have come from other countries here. And they didn't bring rape, and they didn't bring drugs. And I fucking will argue that every day of the week. I'm sorry. If we want to talk about bringing rape, we need to talk about the colonial Americans who came here and basically did that to Native Americans. So don't tell me that, we are absolved, and we are, the righteous. We are, we allow what we accept. And drugs are in this country because we've accepted drugs in this country. Rape is in this country because we've accepted rape. We've accepted this idea that men are dominant and should be able to dominate their women. And that's bullshit, man. Fucking women are incredible. I don't know about you. I love women. Women are just beautiful and vastly intelligent, and just have so much to offer, and then we want to crap on that because they don't respond to our cat calls. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't know. And I'm going off. I don't even know where I am anymore. I had to pull over because I'm hungry, and I'm at Wiener Schnitzel, and I just want 2 chili dogs and fries and a Mountain Dew. So I'm going to leave you at that. Enjoy your day, please.